The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the ancient signal played through the translators. For 3 days, representatives from 47 civilizations had debated what to do about the mysterious transmission that had suddenly reappeared after vanishing 80,000 years ago. Emma Chen, humanity's youngest ambassador, leaned forward in her seat. The signal was beautiful, a mathematical symphony that spoke of a civilization crying out for help before being consumed by something the galaxy had tried very hard to forget. "The Voral directive is clear," announced High Chancellor Thexnor, his crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into dancing patterns. "No species shall answer the lost signal. It is forbidden. It has been forbidden since the last ship that tried never returned." Emma glanced at Harry Morrison, Earth's military attaché, who sat rigid beside her. His jaw was set in that particular way that meant he was about to do something the brass back home would either celebrate or court-martial him for. "With respect, Chancellor," Emma said, standing. Her voice carried across the vast chamber, translated instantly into 47 languages. Humanity wasn't part of the Galactic Council 80,000 years ago. We weren't bound by your directive then. And frankly, we're questioning whether we're bound by it now. A ripple of shock moved through the assembled delegates. The Delphini representative's tentacles curled in distress. The Kashari military commander's scales shifted to a deep crimson, a sign of either anger or respect. Emma had never quite figured out which. "Ambassador Chen," Thexnor's voice carried a warning tone. "You do not understand what you propose. The lost signal comes from the Void Rim, where the Harvesters once ruled. Whatever sent that signal is either dead or wishes it were. To answer is to invite catastrophe." Harry stood beside Emma. "The signal contains coordinates, a plea for rescue, and a warning about something called the stellar rot. Whoever sent this knew they were dying. They also knew their knowledge needed to survive. And you believe humanity, a species that achieved faster than light travel merely 4 centuries ago, can succeed where the ancient races failed." The Kashari commander's voice dripped with disdain. Emma smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. "Commander Jarek, I believe humanity can succeed precisely because we're young and stupid enough to try." 3 weeks later, the UNSC Perseverance emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Void Rim. Emma stood on the bridge beside Captain Harry Morrison. His promotion had come through the moment they volunteered for what the Council called a suicide mission. "Sensors are picking up the source," reported Lieutenant Park from Tactical. "Distance: 43 million kilometers. Captain, it's a station. Massive. Predates anything in the galactic archives." Harry studied the holographic display. The station hung in space like a wounded giant, its surface scarred by weapons fire that had cooled 80 millennia ago. But deep within its core, power still pulsed a heartbeat that refused to die. "Take us in, Lieutenant." "Emma, you'd better see this." Emma joined him at the display. The station's architecture was impossible. It bent space around itself in ways that made her head hurt. More importantly, the readings showed something alive inside. "Harry, there's still someone there. Or something," he replied quietly. "All personnel. Combat Readiness Alpha. We're going in, but we're going in smart." The boarding party moved through corridors that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Emma's suit sensors screamed warnings about temporal distortions and spatial anomalies, but she pushed forward beside Harry and his Marines. They found it in what must have been a central laboratory, a being suspended in a stasis field, barely clinging to life. It looked vaguely humanoid, but was clearly something else. Something older. Around it floated holographic displays showing calculations that made quantum mechanics look like basic arithmetic. "The stellar rot," Emma whispered. Reading the alien symbols her translator struggled to process. "It's not a disease. It's entropy weaponized. It unravels the fundamental forces holding matter together." Harry's face went pale. "And someone deployed it 80,000 years ago?" The being in the stasis field stirred. Ancient eyes opened, focusing on the humans. When it spoke, The words bypassed the translators entirely, appearing directly in their minds. You came. The young race. The persistent ones. The galaxy said you were foolish. Reckless. That's accurate, Harry said. We also brought medical supplies, engineers, and a stubborn refusal to let anyone die alone in the dark. The being's laugh was like stars being born. The harvesters deployed the stellar rot to harvest entire star systems. My people created a counterfrequency, a cure, before we fell. I have maintained the signal, hoping someone would be brave enough, foolish enough, to answer. Emma stepped forward. We're both, and we're here. Tell us how to stop it. The rot is returning. I have felt it awakening in the deep dark. You must take the cure, spread it through the galaxy's quantum substrate, but it requires a sacrifice, a civilization willing to broadcast at frequencies that will burn out every FTL drive simultaneously. You will be stranded in your own systems for generations. Harry and Emma exchanged glances. No discussion was needed. The galaxy thought we were too young, too reckless to join them, Emma said. They'll learn that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's that we show up. We answer the calls that others are too afraid to pick up. Harry nodded. Besides, we've been stranded on one planet for most of our existence. We know how to rebuild. Send us the data. Humanity will pay the price. 6 months later, the cure dispersed through the galaxy's quantum layer. Every FTL drive, manufactured in the last 1,000 years, fused instantly. Galactic civilization ground to a halt. But the stellar rot, that ancient horror creeping back to consume the stars, withered and died before it could fully awaken. In the council chamber, Emma stood before the assembled delegates. Earth had been cut off from the rest of humanity's colonies. But they'd done it. They'd saved trillions. The council owes humanity a debt beyond measure, Thexnor said. You sacrificed your connectivity, your unity, to save species who doubted you. Emma shrugged. That's what humans do. We heard a signal lost for 80,000 years. And we answered. When you rebuild FTL technology, you'll find humanity waiting, probably with better ships than before. We're good at adapting. Harry, standing beside her, grinned. Besides, someone had to teach the galaxy what fuck yeah really means. The translator struggled with the phrase, but every species present understood the sentiment perfectly. Humanity had answered the call no one else dared to accept. And in doing so, they proved they belonged among the stars. The end.